I think our mission was impactful. Its real success obviously will be measured on the ultimate objective of stopping the war.
Bengameli Cyril Ramaphosa uthi impumelelo enkulu labaholi bamazwe ase-Afrika nohulumende kube indlela bemukelwe ngayo iRussia ne-Ukraine.
As concerned resident of Tshwane and surrounding areas, we are here actually to address the issues of illegal influx and invaders invasion in our city.
Iqembu letakamthi laseTshwane limashele eMarabastad lilusana nabantu abaqhamuka lamanye amave angaphandle labethe amaphepha labavumela ukuthi babe kuleli.
We've grown so much over the 4 years. I think you saw the growth that we had in Morocco too. Being African champions, it's not easy.
Ebadlali bebanyana bathile esipilweni basitholele eminyaka lemine lengcile siyobasita kakhulu lenzaba emhlaba licala kule nyanga letako. Kumana na SABC News. Sishayele ngetindzaba letishisako. Tindzaba nje. Kusiluma indlebe talobanga ngitiphi tingekayithini nikhungetse ningumphakathi. Sishayele ku 011 714 6133 noma usithumele i-email ku news@sabc.co.za. I-SABC News. Livi lakho itimele ayithathi hlangothi. Ngoba kuhle hlangana endzabeni teSiswati la kwe-SABC ake sibukele thamba embili lomuhla. Bengameli Cyril Ramaphosa uthi impumelelo enkulu labaholi bamazwe ase-Afrika nohulumende kube indlela bemukelwe ngayo iRussia ne-Ukraine. Ramaphosa ubuye etolo kulele kulandzela imihlangano labenayo namengameli wase-Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky namengameli wase-Russia Vladimir Putin.
I think our mission was impactful. Its real success obviously will be measured on the ultimate objective of stopping the war. But the impact that it has had is that, one, we were listened to as we gave an African perspective on the war that's having negative consequences for our continent. And secondly, we probably the only group that has engaged the two leaders within a short space of time to put forward a very strong proposal and view that the war must end. But we also accompanied that broad proposal with a number of elements which have to do with the recognition of the sovereignty of countries in terms of the UN Charter. That we put forward unambiguously. And we spoke about the de-escalation of the conflict. We also added that the humanitarian assistance must get to the people who are suffering in the war. And part of that must be about the release of prisoners of war, as well as the release of the children who were taken out of Ukraine and to be returned back. Now, those are some of the key issues, but we also spoke about the release and the opening up of the Black Sea for movement of grains and fertilizers to the world markets, which is where we are impacted quite negatively. But I think the most important outcome of these discussions was, one, the willingness to talk initially to us, and the other one is the willingness to go through the various issues that we raised and the commitment that we will engage further. And as it is now, the continent, Africa, is going to have a summit with Russia, which is the second summit, the first one having been held a few years ago. And we will continue our discussions with President Putin then. And in the intervening period, we'll also be talking to President Zelensky because we also want to know his response to a number of the other issues we raised.
Bobangamele baphambili kuleli Thabo Mbeki na Jacob Zuma baphawule ngokubaholi base-Afrika, Ukraine nase-Russia.
I'm glad that this African leadership that has gone to Moscow and to Kiev have said that their first task is to listen. Because I think it's important that they should understand what the Russian Federation is saying, what Ukraine is saying, to have a full grasp of the issues, the matters at issue. I think it's only then that they would be able to elaborate a suggestion from Africa as to what we as Africans think should be done to end the war, to come out of the crisis. So I hope they have listened carefully to what has been said. As I say, because it's only after that it be possible for us to say what needs to be done.
I think Russia has been saying this is their neighbor. You can't, in a neighboring country, bring NATO to interfere with Russia when you don't even want a country in the Middle East or Africa to think independently. You go there, you attack, you do everything. It's a one-sided discussion so far. But you need to find a solution to solve the problem. But people must be honest that in fact they are breaking the rules of the world because they are powerful. That does not help. And this particular war is in fact linked to the existence of BRICS. They don't like the existence of BRICS. And this started because they wanted to try to crush BRICS. But unfortunately, you can't crush BRICS.
I-Democratic Alliance igxeke mengameli Cyril Ramaphosa nelithimba lakhe ngelizabule kuye-Russia nase-Ukraine. Ithi kube ngabe kunendlela etingcono letilandzela ngabe indiza kulela imange ibe netingqinamba nayifika ePoland.
It's clear that over the past 2 days, the presidency has disgraced South Africa on the global stage, and that this so-called peace mission has been utterly shambolic. Not only did the presidency lie about being unaware of missile strikes in Kiev while the so-called peace mission was in town, but the administration's sheer incompetence ended up causing a plane load of bodyguards, journalists, and apparently unauthorized weapons to be denied entry into Poland. So the DA is now submitting a series of urgent parliamentary questions. We want to understand the full cost to the people of South Africa of this utterly shambolic political stunt. We have requested the full flight manifest. We've also submitted questions to the presidency to obtain a detailed breakdown of the security detail that was accompanying the president. We know that there were more than 120 personnel on board that plane, 10 of whom were journalists. We also want to understand where the presidency stands on allegations that were leveled at the Polish authority by his head of presidential security, Wally Roda, on racism essentially leveled at the Polish authorities. Because from what we understand and what's been reported in the news, it seems that the plane, in fact, didn't have authorization to enter the airspace of various countries, and that we understand that various dangerous and undeclared weapons may have also been on board this aircraft. Mm-hmm. There are a number of questions around the involvement of certain international organizations in this, and I think that more will be communicated on that at a later point. The Polish authorities have told us via a media statement that, in fact, 3 meetings were held with the presidential's security operation teams ahead of the visit, and that all of the necessary requirements were communicated to the South African authorities. We know that the presidential security teams, in fact, didn't have the relevant permits on hand. But going to the heart of the mission, which is essentially the objective of Ramaphosa and a number of other African leaders to try and broker some sort of fragile peace in the region, yes. We know from Zelensky's comments that essentially they will not accept anything other than a full withdrawal of Russian troops and not the ceasefire ceasefire or the cessation of hostilities that Ramaphosa has been calling for. We know that that Zelensky has essentially, at the press conference 2 days ago, dismissed many of the objectives that Ramaphosa tried to broker. And we know that in St. Petersburg yesterday, Putin also dismissed out of hand the objectives. So essentially, the mission has now been rejected by both Zelensky and Putin. And questions are now rising in the mainstream media about whether or not there is an involvement of certain Russian-aligned organizations in having initiated this. I think that ultimately what President Ramaphosa has done is he's presented nothing of concrete value in terms of mediating the crisis. And this has ultimately been a PR stunt.
Uqhubana lendzaba semukela umhleli Tindzaba temava ngaphandle SABC Mesof Mkwena. Mkwena simukela Tindzaba teSiswati la ku SABC.
Ngiyabonga.
Mesof, ingabe lo mhlawumbe kubuka kwakho lo mhlawumbe waseRussia nase-Ukraine obekade uhambelwe lithimba labaholi base-Afrika ube impumelelo noma ube njani?
Uyamuzwa umongameli uma kakhuluma ngalolu hambo uthi impactful not successful. Ngamanye amagama kube ne-impact kukhona okwenzakele uyakuchaza ukuthi baze babamukela ngezandla ezifudumele. Kodwa ke kulolo daba lokuthi mhlambe kungamiswa ngokulwa lapho abakhonanga ukuthi bacele abantu ababili uZelensky kunye noPutin ukuthi bavumelane ukuthi bazomisa ngalempi ekhona lapha eUkraine. Ngakho ke umongameli ukhetha amagama uma kakhuluma ngoba uyazi ukuthi uma kangakhohlisa ilizwe hayi nje iNingizimu Afrika athi successful njengoba umzwilo umhleli wezindaba umqazululi wezindaba zangaphandle asho manje ukuthi kukhona ezinye izinto uZelensky akazange avumelane nazo lezo abazithulile ngaphambi kwaZelensky. Mawuya eRussia nakhona kukhona ezinye izinto uPutin othe akavumelane nazo. Ngakho ke angeke uthi iphumelele. Ungasho nje ukuthi kukhona okwenzakele ngokuthi bakhone ukukhulumisana nalabantu. Kodwa ke imiphumela izobonakala ngomva kwesikhathi eside uma baphindela futhi ngoba balalele njengoba umongameli wayizolo uThabo Mbeki esho ukuthi ufanele ulalele kuqala amahlangothi wonke ubuyele emuva ubheke yini ongayikhuluma ukubasondeza.
Mesof sibone sikaphambini ke ngaphambi ukuthi nje lelihlelo linkulumo oluqale sibone kuba nenkinga yelithimba laseNingizimu Afrika nalifika ePoland. Yini imbangela lento ukuthi ube nematimba lokungaka ukuthi nithathe lento sibona ukuthi ube nenkinga nebantu labasingathami ngabe libona ugatha nabo ube nenkinga. Yini kahle kahle leholele ukuthi libe matimba lohambo lwabangameli?
Uma ukhuluma nabameli o mangathi ama officials wase South Africa bathi bebenze yonke into njengoba bebekhulumisane namazwe lapho bazodlula khona. Into yokuqala siyazi ukuthi indiza mayihamba phezulu lapha ayihambi nje phezulu. Kukhona into esibiza ukuthi airspace. I-airspace uzothola ukuthi kusuka la ukuye Cape Town iSouth Africa ephethe phansi naphezulu. Manje uma uphuma ngaphandle kweNingizimu Afrika udlula kuma airspace ngolobu udlula ngaphezulu kwalezi ama country lamanye amazwe nabo lapho bazokutshela ukuthi udlule kulelizwe lethu phezulu lapha ufanele uhambe kanjani. Manje uma ungena eEurope kuba nzima ngenxa yalempi esiyibona eUkraine ngoba uyazi ukuthi amazwe aseEurope amaningi iNATO kakhulukhulu lo mhlangano weNATO ufaka iAmerica basupporta iUkraine. Ngakho ke iNingizimu Afrika bayibona kuyilizwe elisupporta o elihambisana neRussia. Ngakho ke ufanele ube nemvumo kwenye nenye icountry ozohamba kuyo phezulu lapha. Sibonile uma badlula eItaly kube khona izindiza ezibabhekile ngoba bese kukhona amahlebezi ukuthi leyo ndiza leyo iphethe amasotsha ngaphandle kwamaphoyisa iphethe izikhali sisadingidana nenkinga yokuthi kuthiwa siphe iRussia izikhali. Umbuso uphikile lokho. Kodwa ke manje mase uhamba ngendiza ephethe izikhali, ephethe amasoja. Amasoja awafani namaphoyisa, awahambi nje. Into esibili ukuthi kukhona abanye abantu babangaphakathi ngapho bebengenamaphepha afanele ama-original copies. Ngisho ngumhleli wezindaba zangaphandle ze-SABC, uma ngiphuma nje ku-border yase-South Africa, noma ngiye eLesotho, noma ngiyalala eSwatini, fanele ngiphathe imvumo. Kuba nzima-ke uma uphethe i-equipment like i-camera or i-DMNG lesihambisa izindaba ngayo or i-radio recorder, ngoba bayazi ukuthi uzovula ilizwe labo. Ulivula kanjani? Uzokhuluma ukuthi kwenzakalani lapho, uzothumela nemfanekiso. Ngakho-ke bazokufuna amaphepha ukuthi i-camera le kube nemvumo yokuthi uze ne-camera, uze ne-DMNG, uze ne-recorder. Uma ungaphathanga amaphepha, angeke ungene naleyo equipment. Mhlambe uzadlula wena babamba equipment. Kufana nala ekhaya, uma ubuya ungaphathanga amaphepha ukuthi uphume njani nale equipment, bayayithatha la e-OR. Manje-ke uma ubheka-ke izikhali kuba nzima-ke.
Mesofi, njengoba-ke ungumhleli wetindzaba tangaphandle, kubekaphi buhlobo beNingizimu Afrika nePoland kulolo kwendekile? Nawubuka ukuthi i-security emengameli naye mengameli kwangathi impilo yakhe bese i-compromised ukuthi uhambe angahambi nabonogada bakhe abaphelele naku nalana Tindzaba dead boss yini fanele be-exposed mhlaba ngojikelele. Kubekaphi udlala beNingizimu Afrika nePoland emva kwalesigameko lesi?
Bazokhulumisana. Uma ungakhuluma nomongameli wasePoland, ipresident yakhona, ukhulumisane nomongameli waseNingizimu Afrika, angeke bakhulume njengami nawe, baphonsane ngamatshe. Bazokhuluma in a diplomatic way. Bazothi nje ayisayixoxisana le ndaba sizoyixazulula ngoba abaholi bafanele bayehlise amaphaphu. Kodwa siyazi ukuthi behind the scenes ungathola ukuthi kunzima, kufuneka izimpendulo. I'm sure nomongameli sikhuluma nje namhlanje imhlazile phela lento. Ufuna ama-answers ku-defense force ngoba kunamasoja, ku-intelligence ngoba I'm sure i-military intelligence ne-national intelligence ama-officials bakhona, amaphoyisa, kufaka-ke ne-Department of International Relations ngoba yiyo efanele isize lama departments laba ngale personnel yabo ukuthi babe amaphepha nemvumo esifanelekile. Ngakho-ke ngikhuluma nje, ngiyakhola nje kuyaphenywa ukuthi kwenzakaleni. Kodwa-ke mhlambe sizezwa amalanga amalo bahamba ngoba lolu daba luhlaze iNingizimu Afrika kakhulu. Abantu balibheka ngendlela ezihlukahlukene. Ngakho-ke ngiyakhola ukuthi iNingizimu Afrika izofuna ukuthi iqhaze ukuthi kahle kahle kwenzakaleni. Uma sesizwe lokho, nathi sizofanele siphenye, sicheke nePoland ukuthi bona bathini, ngoba angeke nje ulalele ihlangothi elilodwa. Mina iproblem yami uRuot makama lapha phezu kwendiza akhuluma lento ayikhulumayo. Ukhohliwe ukuthi abantu abafanele bakhulume i-international relations makunenkinga emazweni amabili. Ngoba awazi ukuthi international relations isebenza. Uyazi nje ukuphepha, security, but angeke athi uyazi i-diplomacy. Manje uma sowumelapha uyenza ukuthi bakwade mhlambe bungalobe kuxoxisana. Kodwa uma sobatshele ukuthi ama-racist kwenzeni yonke lento kuba nzima. Kanti-ke abantu be-international relations bazifundisile ukuthi uma kunama-challenges bakhuluma njani namazwe amanye.
Mesofi, sibonile ukuthi iNingizimu Afrika kufanele ukuthi isingathe umhlangano we-AGOA. I-America ithe nayiveta iyathi kwangathi iNingizimu Afrika ibonakala isupporta noma iselihlangothini leRussia. Angeke nikube lokhu ukuthi njengoba futhi kuta nemhlangano we-BRICS kufanele ukuthi bengabe Putin abe la eNingizimu Afrika. Angeke kube kwangathi lolu hambo noma lokungenela kwabaholi base-Afrika kuphendlela indlela yokuthi Putin akhona ukuthi attende umhlangano mahambele umhlangano we-BRICS nanokuthi iNingizimu Afrika ichubeke ingalahlekelwa bulunga bekuba ngaphansi kwamavela kwaGowa.
Kunenkinga kakhulukhulu ngoba masikhuluma nje asazi nokuthi uPresident Ramaphosa ukhulume kanjani noPutin ngalolu daba leBRICS asazi manje uyeza agezi iyahamba lenhlangano iya mhlawumbe eChina or eRussia asazi upresident isikhathi sihambile manje fanele aphume chachalazini ukuthi no uyeza uPutin this is the position or sivumelane kanje ngiyathemba ukuthi njengoba sakabuyile eRussia yenye yezinto esizoyibuza upresident ukuthi ukhulume njani noPutin ngoba uma isekhona lenkinga kaPutin iAmerica izoqhubeka ngendlela le iqhubeka ngayo manje iAGOA yona ke uma ngikhulumisana naloyo wake waba umongameli weNingizimu Afrika izolo ebusuku kuleya birthday yakhe uThabo Mbeki uthe indaba yeAGOA important kakhulu not only ku South Africa kodwa kulizwe leAfrika jikelele ngoba ziningi amazwe atholayo umnotho ngenxa yalesivumelano manje last year ophethe izindaba zangaphandle waseAmerica uAntony Blinken mayikhona wa launcha isivumelwano sokuqinisa irelationship neAfrika namazwe eAfrika manje umongameli loyo waqala uThabo Mbeki uthi mangabe iAmerica izimisele ukuyenza ukuthi ubudlelwane bube buhle not ngepolitiki kuphela kodwa ngezomnotho abakwazi ukuthi bathathe lesivumelwano ngoba that's a clear demonstration ukuthi ngempela ufuna ukusebenzisana nelizwe leAfrika ngoba asiyiningizimu Afrika kuphela etholayo kulesivumelwano kodwa ke washo ukuthi lesivumelwano simqoka kakhulu ngoba uma singayitholi baningi abantu abazophelelwa imisebenzi uyazi ukuthi kunama companies izimoto eningizimu Afrika ngaba icompany yaseGermany BMW or iMercedes Benz ama parts we BMW neMercedes amanye ayenzwa la eningizimu Afrika le BMW neMercedes bazithengisele iAmerica la kunama lezimoto lezikhona ngakho ke iAGOA abantu abazuza kulesivumelano asiyithi kuphela namanye amazwe ungabona ke ukuthi if ama motor industry angaba affected motor in general imoto zase-America iFord izovalwa phela ikhampani ngisakhuluma ngalezi zinkulu angikhulumi ngezinye ke ngakho ke ungeke uwazi ukuthi kusasa nje iningizimu Afrika ethi hey hambani neAGOA yenu ngoba izothikameza umnotho weningizimu Afrika ngalesikhathi sivele sisenkingeni
Mesof uma ukhuluma kanjalo kubese kusho ukuthini ngekutimela kwelive nangabe live litaba netingcaba ngaka ngekuthi kufuna ukuthi libuke naku lelihlomo lakhe kusho ukuthi lamave la ngaphansi kwaAGOA sekufuna ukuthi angabi nekutimela kwawo ngekuthi atawulahlekelwa ngolomnotho
afanele azimele kungakho uMbeki athi makuxoxisanwe ngoba akusho ukuthi iningizimu Afrika kuphela ezoba nenkinga nayo iAmerica ngokwayo kukhona izinto ezithumela eningizimu Afrika ezithengisayo ngakho ke nabo bazolahlekelwa kodwa futhi bazibophile ukuthi bafuna ukuvusa ubudlelwane uvusa njani ubudlelwane nami kusasa ulwisa umntwana uvusa ubudlelwane neningizimu Afrika yifamily angithi kodwa uzolwa uSophie South Africa ngakho ke kungakho athi kufanele kuxoxisana
Sibonga kakhulu Mesofi isikhathi sakho
ngiyabonga nami
nina bakithi-ke loyo ke ngimake Sophie Mkwena lo ngumhleli wetindzaba tangaphandle la SABC sikhulumisana naye ngendzaba yemihlangano la njengomengameli evene naseRussia kutama kuthola kakhulukazi ke somdulo ngale ndzaba lekhona kulamave amabili kwadise phela ukuthi umnotho wemave emhlaba uyathikamedeka ngalemphile solo ichubeka kulamave lamabili iqembu letakhamuti laseTshwane limashela ama-rubber kulisana nabantu abaqhamuka kulamanye emave angaphandle labethe amaphepha labavumela ukuthi babe kuleli leli qembu lithi seligciniwe ubugebengu lobendeka eTshwane lobubangwa ngibo lababekunene.
As concerned resident of Tshwane and surrounding areas, we are here actually to address the issues of illegal influx and invaders invasion in our city. We have a problem of illegal immigrants who are using our property, our resources, our kids. They're destroying our kids with drugs. They've opened the brothels inside here. They're operating freely. We don't know who gave them that permission to operate freely, but we are enough as a community, as a concerned Tshwane residents. We say enough is enough with illegal immigrants. They must go back home. We need to get our country back in our original status. We need to solve our own domestic problems without any interference of any people coming from outside. Our economy now is being strained. Our healthcare is being strained. If you go to the hospitals, people are sleeping on the floor. Why? Because of the beds are taken by the foreign immigrants who are not even registered. Taxpayers cannot even enjoy their freedom in our country. Voters cannot even enjoy their freedom in our country. But people who came from outside countries illegally, they are operating, they're getting rich in our country. They're getting, like wealthy through our resources, by destroying our kids with drugs. So we say enough is enough. There's a problem of illegal occupation of property and houses. And we have a backlog of houses in our country. Our brothers are sleeping in the back rooms in Mishongoville. But if you check around Pretoria West, around the surrounding areas, Sunnyside, Pretoria East, you get foreigners owning big houses. How they get them, we don't know. How they acquire the ownership of the houses, we don't know. Maybe it's through the corruption of some officials that will be proven in a later stage. But now we said enough is enough as community. We said we take action, and now we are here to save our country. We are here to protect our heritage. We don't back down.
Let me tell you one thing, that anyone who can determine this person is illegal is the officials. So no South African or no guy who is walking around in the street who must come to you and say, give me your ID. They must go to the rightful people, which is the police or immigration officers. And they must point out these people and these people. Let them check them where they are come. Because the way they come with intongas and everything. They're coming to fight because we can fight better. This is Maraba said we can fight better. We are united like this. We can fight better. So whatever they do, they must do bahambisa imthetho phambili. Because whatever they are doing, it's illegal what they are doing now. Not only that, they were supposed to also apply for what? For their demonstration, for their march. Because here they will come across these South African children that they are here. Our mama, they are here to make sure that they are earning a living. And if they disturb that, where are we going to eat? Just because they are sitting at home, they are lazy to work. We must not work. It's not fair, seriously.
Nasipitolo kugcwele kakhulu ukubulawa kwemvelo omsikati loneminyaka lengama-41 lobekade kuthikameteka engqondweni. Nzabareswati la kwe-SABC la ubukele khona ukhethe kahle sakwemukela hlala nathi. Sixolithele uTsaba lolenzela kahle lungehli kahle kulabanye babukeli bethu. Kugcwele kakhulu kubulawa komuntu omsikati oneminyaka lengama-41 lobekade kuthikameteka engqondweni enzaweni yaseMasakala eMatetiyela eMpumalanga Kapa. Sidumbu sanomajama akhethiwe sitholakale sicuyiwe.
Inhlungu nonxunguphalo phakathi kwekhaya lakwaKhenziwe. UNomajama Khenziwe umzimba wakhe ufunyanwe ulahlwe ethafeni, utyhuthulwe amalungu omzimba. Eli khaya kungokunje lifuna kwenziwa ubulungiswa.
Sishokha kakhulu lento njengefamily eyenzekileyo kulo mntwana wethu uNomajama ngendlela amangalisayo. Asaphatha kakuhle kakhulu xa sesibona futhi nokuthi enyanisweni lento iyaqhubeka elalini. Akude kube khona solution kakuhle lento isenzeka.
Hey, siphatheka kubi kakhulu indaba kaNomajama. Kangangoba asikabikho right, asikakwazi kwakulala ezindlini. Kumbono esiwubonileyo ukaNomajama wokugetyengwa kwakhe.
Sive sibuhlungu sidanile xa ezolimala egetyengelwa elalini apho esaziwa khona. Kangangoba sicela amapolisa adlale indima yawo afumaneke lo muntu.
Uhulumende wephondo eMpuma Koloni uxhalabile ngezenzo zokubulawa kwabantu basetyhini nabantwana ngakumbi kumhlaba waseMatatiyele.
Lalani ngenxeba akuhlangweli ngehliye uThixo khona kodwa uhulumende wenu uza kuyilwa lento futhi sizawuncedisana ukuze umuntu abe behind bars.
Umbutho ojongene nokulwisana nokuxhatshazwa kwamanina nabantwana ikhula Community Development umemelela isebe lezobulungisa kuba lijonge likwaqwalasela indlela engcono yokutsala nokugcina amagazi ngakumbi ezaphula imithetho elizweni loMzantsi Afrika.
Lixesha lobana xa umntwana ezalwa sibe nebhanki enguvimba yokugcina lonke amagazi ne-DNA ukwenzela uba xa umuntu oreyishiweyo kuvele kuyiwe phaa kungabe kukhangela umuntu abe koqatyelwa ngapha siyazi into yobana kuvulwa apha ebhankini kokujonga uba ngekabani le DNA ifunyanwe ukukhangela umuntu.
Akukabanjwa mntu kwesi siganeko. Ndinkululeko Nyembezi weendaba ze-SABC eMatatiyele.
Imithetho lebekwa eTindzaba ethengisa tshwala kakhulu eTindzaba esemaphandleni ibitibonakala iqinile ngaphambilini. Kamuva nje kubonakala inani lebantwana labangaphansi kweminyaka le-18 banza kuleto tindzawo. Kuva kabanti ngemithetho ehambisana nemvume legunyata kuthengiswa itshwala kwetshwala emoyeni isikhulumisana Cedric Chilwane lengumphathi lomkhulu kuxhumana esikhungweni sekulawula komnotho eMpumalanga. Asikubele Chilwane sikwamukele endzabeni teSiswati la ku SABC. Asikubingelele Chilwane sikwamukele endzabeni teSiswati la ku SABC.
Akubonge Dlamini sibingelele sibonga nelithuba lokuxoxisana nani.
Singakaqali nje Chilwane awusichazisele kabantu ukuthi ngaphambi kwekuthi uthole imvume ukuthi uthengise itshwala yini lebukwako?
Sibonge Dlamini angiqale ngisho ukuthi sibhodi leli lawula lomkhakha ukuthengisa utshwala kuyasikhathatha nasibona ekakhulukazi abantu labasha batinikela kakhulu etshwaleni. Kepha-ke ukuphendula umbuto wakho lokusiye sikubuke before sitokuniketa i-license siye sibuke ukuthi awukho disqualified. Umthetho wethu uyachaza ukuthi umele ube ngumuntu lo utokhona ukuthi uqhubele ibhizinisi lokuthengisa tshwala ulandele umthetho wase-South Africa. Sesibuke nalendzawo la uyothengisela khona. Sisebenzisana nabo masipala kuloko ukuthi basicheckile lendzawo la uyothengisela khona ukuthi ngabe ilungele ukuthi ungaba nesikhungo sokuthengisa tshwala kuleyo ndzawo leyo yini. Bese konke lokho nangabe kukahle siyakhona ukuthi sibuke lesicelo sakho ukuthi singakuniketa yini license.
Lonke konke lokushoko lemniningwane naniyibuthelela babshilwane kuthatha isikhathi esinganani ngoba nasihamba la ngaphandle siyabona ukhandle lenza uthengisa itshwala ekhathe emidini lamalokishini bese uyatibuta ukuthi kwente kanjani ukuthi kungathenga ngaba nenzawo ethengisa itshwala ekhathi la kuhlala khona abantu. Ngiko ngizabona ukuthola ukuthi lemniningwane niyayibese niyalandzelela yini ukuthi lo muntu la athi uthengisa khona letshwala kulapho vele kufanele abe khona yini?
Yebo kunjalo kukanjena kule tindzawo ukuthi ungathengisela ndzawanaphi si lapho sisebenzisa kakhulu i-town planning lothi la kamasipalati kukhona i-division ya town planning bekungibo lababuka letindzawo ukuthi letindzawo tilungele yini for lama-business lawo bafake ticelo ukuthi bafake amabhizinisi kubo. Kepha thina emsebenzi wethu nase sithole i-approval yakamasipalati ukuthi tindzawo ti-right siyaqinisekisa ukuthi labantu laba baniketela ama-license basebenta kahle kuleto tindzawo bayayilandzela yonke lemithetho lebekiwe yelive. Nangabe siyakhanza ukuthi abasalandzeli lemithetho sinato tindlela ukuthi sibabite sitobacondzisa.
Babshilwane sibonile ke ukuthi sebanenge bantwana labangaphansi kweminyaka lefanele ukuthi bangakhanzakala bakuleti ndzawo leti ukhanze labo sebanatha sekuyabhenywa. Loko nithini ningilesikhungo lesibuke temnotho ngabe necinisekisa ngatiphi indlela ukuthi imikhiba lenjena ayendeki futhi netikhathi tekuvulwa nekuvalwa nilandzelela kanganani ukuthi vele langabe kuthiwa kuvulwa nga-10 kuvalwe nga-11 vele kuvalwa ngalo-11 nenta njani kuloko babshilwane?
Angiqale ngisho ukuthi kulabantu labasha labakhanzakala bahambela letikhungo kona akusikho emthethweni kusento lesiphambene nemithetho leso kula bathengisi sinetindlela ukuthi sixoxisane nabo ukuthi lo mthetho ukuthengisa tshwala mabawulandzele bangavumeli bantwana labangaphansi kwa-18 bangene kuleto tikhungo leto umthetho ukhona uwanele lokuvimbela lenkinga le kepha sinxusa kakhulu ukuthi bathengisi bethu mabancede bangavumeli kwenteke lokho kepha kuleti nqubo lesinato thina ukuhambela sicheke letindzawo siye sivele singaka-announce ukuthi sitawufika nini sente ama-inspection nangabe sikhanza kwenteka lokhu sinayo indlela yokuthi sibabitele kuma-hearing lapho sikhona khona ukuthi sibajezise noma siyithathe le license nangabe lo kusento lesivamile kulethi ndzawo leto kepha kule ma-hours ukuthi bavula ngesikhathi bavala ngesikhathi nakuloko lama-inspectors asinawo bathi nabahambela leti ndzawo babuke ukuthi lo mthetho ukuvula nokuvala bayawulandzela yini and nasikhanza ukuthi akwendeki sinayo indlela yokuthi sibajezise nakwendeka into lenjalo.
Letindzawo tekuthengisa amanatho babshilwane tehlukana kukhona emabhokli store kukhona emathaveni le mithetho yakhona ihlukana kanganani ebhokli store kumbe na unelwati ungasiniketa ukuthi kuvulwa ngabani kuvalwe ngabani isikhathi ngoba umuntu akhanza ukuthi wathi for license nje uyathengisa kathi nakutongo lento leto ngoba ngicabanga ukuthi kunemngoti lobukhulu ukuthi wephule umthetho wekuvula nekuvalwa emathaveni labanye kusahluthu kulobanye bakutshela ukuthi kuvalwa nga10 kuvalwa nga11 lesikhathi sekuthi nangabe kuyithaveni kuvulwa ngabani kuvalwe ngabani nangabe kuyibhokli store kuvulwa ngabani kuvalwe ngabani.
Okay kepha ngifuna kusho ukuthi kuye kuhluke kancane ngoba la kule sikhathi masipalati unesandla ukuthi naye angafaka umbono ukuthi le business la bafuna kuyolubeka khona lesikhathi singafitha yini kepha ngokomthetho losinawo akumelanga lama-hours andlule kulama-hours la ashicilele kulo mthetho wethu le-Liquor Act so i-bottle store ngo-8 iyavala 8 wesebusuku mathaveni yiwo lana angachubeka wona until 12 kepha kuya ngale license le bathole yona ukuthi iyabaniketa leligunya lokuchubeka until 12 ebusuku then sokukhona labanye bema-special event licenses labo baye bachubeka until 2 so siye sive futhi bathiwe kunema-license la avula 24 hours asinawo ama-license la njalo la muntu angathengisa 24 hours ma-license ashicilelwe and lokhu sikhuthatha ukuthi bantu bakithi bangakwenda la kuleti ndzawo i-license kumele ibekwe somewhere la itobonakala khona and la ibekwe khona nama-hours ekuthengisa ayavela la kule license so umuntu angabuka le license la ibekwe khona bese uyabuka lama-hours la avunyelwe ukuthi uhlale wathi na ukuthi nangabe sebecile ungakhona ukuthi ubikele noma amaphoyisa or ubikele yona impumalanga economic regulator la kungelo libhodi leli lawula lama-license.
Sibonga kakhulu babshilwane isikhathi sakho.
Siyabonga Sithuma.
Nina bakithi-ke loyo-ke ngibabe Cedric Shilwane sikhulumisana naye ngendaba ekuthengiswa tshwala nekakhulu kati-ke nekwephulwa kwemithetho lekufanele silandzele nangabe-ke uthengisa wona emanatho. Ucalelo msebenti khuculula kuleti tindzawo inshwana ngakapa kulandzela timvula letimatima. Timvula letimatima tinengemandla tibangekucekela phansi noma tibange kuceleka phansi tekhoncanti nekuvaleka kwemigwaco. Imvula letindzawo letihamba imanti igcwele kuyaphuphuma. Tinkuwa titakhamuti tikhahlameteke kakhulu ngalesimo lesi.
Kuchilile kancinci kodwa akuzise umthincamo nanjengoko engqele eziqhaqhazelisa amazinyo nezikhukhula zongamelele nginqi. Abahlali bamanqada-nqada phansi kwemeko ezinzima.
The conditions is very cold. It's wet. Our houses is full of water, and it's bitter because it's Sunday. And normally on a Sunday you make a nice warm lunch, but unfortunately we can't.
I don't have warm clothes. Don't have warm. Anything is bad here, and you see now it's Melbourne, and then I'm so grateful for givers to give us for everyone who carry.
Kwezinye indawo indledlana eyakuhola wendlela uN7 phakathi kweCitrusdal neSirius ivuliwe kancinci. Ezi zezinye zeendlela bezigutyungelwe zezi zikhukhula. Indlela esemthethweni ephuma eCitrusdal iyakuhola wendlela uN7 ibhidlike yaphela. Umbutho wesisa iGift of the Givers izoqhubeka ukusebenzisana nabaphathi kumasipala ombaxa iWest Coast kwezi ntsuku zilandelayo.
They said whether it rain or storm, we have to get at least something across to assist those people, because the next few days are not looking good for the people on that side.
Kuthekelelwe imvula emandla kwezi ntsuku zimbalwa zizayo. Athule Joka kwindaba ze-SABC eKapa.
Kubuka thamba embili enkundleni yokuxhumana kule mpelasonto lesiphuma kuyo samukela sandile hlangane losalithe enkundleni yokuxhumana apha indzabeni sathelile ebuchwepheshe SABC sikumele sandile sikwamule ndzabeni teSiswati
masibulele ngethuba
nosabonga Mpumane ake usichazele ukuthi ngabe ngitiphe thamba embili ku social media kule mpelasonto
so nqakulamba phambili kule veki lena lilembe ushaka izinto ezininzi abantu oko ithe yaqala yavumbuluka le program into yokubana abantu abaninzi babenengxaki yokuthi i-lead actor yelembe akakwazi usithetha kakuhle isiZulu. Abantu besizulu okanye abathetha isiZulu yenye yezinto ababekhalaza ngayo leyo. Okwesibini abantu abaninzi ku social media baye banengxaki yento ethi kukho lento kuthiwa zinudes ngesilungu, i-pictures ezihambisa umzimba abazibonayo kwilembe. Okwesibini yenye into ke ababenengxaki nayo lonto leyo. Okwesithathu ke kuphume into ethi enye ye-producers ezikhona zalapha eSouth Africa ithi i-story idea siye sabiwa ngabantu abaproducer ilembe. Asiyazi ke ithatha ukuthini lonto leyo. Kusenokwenzeka okokuba uzawubathatha abase ecourt ibe yicourt echazayo ukuthi kanye ibe yi-idea kabani esi story. Okwesibini nje sizawuyazi abantu abaninzi bambonile ugogo Maweni etrenda kakhulu kule mpela veki sisuka kuyo. Enye yezinto ebangela uba makatrende ke ugogo Maweni kukuba amagqirha athi ulihlambalazile walirhuqa igama lamagqirha ngoba athi xa ethetha ungumbulali ngenxa yezinto azithethayo kule channel aneshow kuyo. So abantu abaninzi ke bakhwaza okanye bacela le channel ukuthi imshenxise okanye immise okanye isuse ngamanye amagama le program kaGogo Maweni until uGogo Maweni igama lakhe lihlanjwe.
Kuya embili nje leliviki yini lesingakubuka hlangane khona enkundleni yokuxhumana nje bathi into phela tendeka mihla nemalanga yini lesingakulindele nje leliviki njengoba liviki licala nje. Inqaku elikhulu abantu abangaloyanga elimane lihamba kulamakhasi liphinde libuye linqaku lelisiza kuthola. Elinqaku lelibalekile ngoba uxolana into ayenzayo uhamba kwi-provinces zonke apho afuna khona abantu abathengisa i-drugs. Yenye yezinto ezibalulekileyo kwi-South Africans ngoba ziyawugqiba okanye ziyawubulala umzi. Kuvele ivideo ke apho uxolane athetha khona nomnye wabasebenzi okanye ekukholeleka okanye kurhaneleka uba ngabasebenzi be-Home Affairs apho athetha noxolani ngendaba yakhe ayenzayo yokuba okanye yokwenzela abemi baseNigeria ii-IDs ngokungekho mthethweni. Ibothusile ke abahlali base-South Africa lonto leyo. Asiyazi ke kuza kwenzeka ntoni ngoba abukabikho ubungqina nangona nje simva losisi kule video eyithetha into yokokuba usebenzela Home Affairs and eyikhanyela yena into yoba uyayenza lento. Asiyazi uba kuza kwenzeka ntoni xa evele ecourt. Okwesibini inqaku le-farm gate lelinye lenqaku esizawulibona ngoba abantu abaninzi bathi mayiphume le report ye-farm gate bazowubona okokubana kwenzeka ntoni bazokwazi ukuqhubeka bahambe phambili ngempilo zabo. Kube khona kudabataba kwemhlaba emavikini noma evini eliphelile kwangathi sekuphindze kwendeka ngabe kukhona yini elo enkundleni yokuxhumana lesebakhuluma ngako bani ngale zaba leyo.
abantu abaninzi ke lanqaku eliyana liyabaxhalabisa nangona nje izazi ziye zabaxelela okokubana ayonto kufuneka baxhalabe ngayo lonto leyo. Abantu abaninzi bebesithi ke abafuna ubheka emsebenzini balimalele endleleni ebheka emsebenzini ngabantu abathanda ukuqhula ke abo ku social media and okanye balimalele emsebenzini. Bathi ke abantu bazawucela okanye bathethisane nabaqeshi babo ukuthi babayeke okwethutyana bahlale ezindlini bayijonge lento okanye bayetyise kule nto nditshoyo ke ndithi abafuni ukuthi balimalele endleleni emsebenzini okanye emsebenzini. Kodwa ke abaphathi mandla okanye iziphatha mandla zithi abantu mabangaxhalabi akho kwanto ezakwenzeka.
Amadoda yakhala mani ngendaba ukuthi indaba ye-Father's Day ayisiyo into eba nalo yamdla ikakhulukazi when looking ubuka indaba yabesimame ku-Mother's Day. Ingabe ku-social media ike ivela kanganani ngokubona kwakhona indaba ye-Father's Day?
Zikhona ividiyo ezivelileyo. Enye yevideos endizithandileyo yividiyo apho kubonakala umntana omnyama nomntana ongumlungu behagana. Ivezwe ile nto ye-Father's Day ngoba abantu ke bathi thina sisi-South Africans kufikelele ixesha lobana ke sithethe ngakumbi umuntu ongutata nomuntu ongumama. Ingabikho lento yokokuba kujongelwe phansi umuntu ongutata kujongelwe phansi umuntu ongumama. Bonke aba bantu kufuneka balingane ngoba indima abayidlalayo ebantwaneni ababakhulisayo iyafana. Abantu abangotata ke njengoba usitsho bakholelwa ekutheni ingathi i-Mother's Day ibalulekile kune-Father's Day. So ezo video ke ziyabonisa ke apho abantwana abancinci besenzela ikofu ootata babo xa bevuka. Into ebonisayo ke leyo ukuthi abantwana abancinci bayabathanda ootata babo, hayi ngaphezu komama babo, but bayabathanda abazali ngendlela elenganayo.
Kokugcina nje uma ungake sosichazele ukuthi njengoba umuntu asebenzisa emakhasi ekuxhumana yini ekufanele ukwenze noma kufanele ukwende ekuqinisekisa ukuthi emakhasi akho ekuxhumana aphephile akuna information lephumako ngaphandle kwekwati kwakho wena mnikado wasebenzisa.
Yonke into oyibona ku social media kubalekile ukuba uyetyise, uyifunde, uyijonge uba isukaphi. Amaxesha amaninzi usenokuyijonga uba isuka kuSandile Hlangani oyintatheli SABC, but ubukhulu becala kusengenzeka ukubana iaccount yam ihackiwe. So kubalekile ke ukuthi xa uyibona into ingathi yenza umdla ungayishare kulamakhasi wonxibelelwano ngoba xa uyishare ithetha ukuthi lonto leyo unxamnye okanye uyinxalenye yalento isuka kulo muntu isherwe nguwe. So kubalekile ukuthi noba intoni uyibona ku social media ungangxami ngokuyishare ngoba abantu abaninzi bazawucinga fanuba ukuba isuka kuwe. And abantu abaninzi into abangayaziyo kukuba izinto esizithethayo ku social media okanye information esiyikhupha ku social media ngenye imini isenokusetyenziswa against wena. Umuntu unalo ilungelo lokokubana xa uthethe into kuye ku social media angakuhambisa akuse court, icourt ibone ukuthi mayenze ntoni ngawe. Kuxhomekeka ekutheni yintoni na leyo uyithethileyo against lamntu. Siyibonile ke ngaphambili abantu abaninzi abathetha izinto ngabantu ku social media especially xa kufikelele kulento kuthiwa yi-racism besisiwa ecourt. Icourt ke inawo amandla okokubana ingakugweba okanye ikubhatalisa imali. Kuyawuxhomekeka kubunzima betyala okanye loo nto uthe wayithetha against lo mntu lowo ungenabo ubungqina. Simbonile uTrevor Manuel ethathe kuminyaka emibini edlulileyo uJulius Malema we-EFF wayiwina lo case leyo ngoba into yayithethwe nguJulius Malema ngoTrevor Manuel yathi icourt ayinabungqina kwaye ayikho. Wabhataliswa lento kuthiwa yi-fine uJulius Malema ukuthi uTrevor Manuel awine ityala. So kubalekile abantu ukuthi bazijonge into abazithethayo ku social media nezinto abazenzayo ku social media.
Ungathini kubatali ngekulawula i-social media noma kulawula kusetshenziswa kwe-social media kubantwana babo because sibonile ukuthi ukhanza ukuthi abantwana siyabathumela ithombe kukuthatha nje umntali noma kuniketa umntali isicwayiso ngekwati ukuthi umntwana yakhe uyisebenzisa njani social media.
Into ebalulekileyo whether sisebenzisa u-social media okanye siqeqesha abantwana sibakhulisa sibafundisa ngobomi. Into ebalulekileyo ukubana masihlale phansi nabantwana sizithethe ezizinto nabo apho singavumelaniyo nabo basibonise okanye thina sibabonise apho singavumelaniyo nabo abantwana. Akukho nto sizayenza nge-social media. I-social media ilapha ayizuhamba. Social media iyasebenza esikolweni. Iifowuni siyazibona ukuthi ziyasebenza ezifowunini esikolweni. Umzekelo omfutshane njena, ifowuni ine-calculator. And ngoku esikolweni kusetyenziswa iividiyo ezimfutshane ukufundisa abantwana ezinye zezinto amabazenze esikolweni. Ifowuni inale nto kuthiwa kukurekhoda, i-icon yokurekhoda. Umntana esikolweni uyakwazi uyirekhoda i-lesson ngefowuni yakhe bese uyahamba ayoyisebenzisa okanye ayoyimamela ekhaya xa sele efumene ixesha. Into ebalulekileyo xa ungumzali, hlala phantsi nomntana nidrafte le nto kuthiwa lixesha lokusebenzisa ifowuni. Siyazi okokubana umntana xa ebuya esikolweni wenza umsebenzi wesikolo, and uzawukhumbula xa ungumzali ubukhulu becala umsebenzi wesikolo wenziwa kwangale phone. That is why abantwana abaninzi behlala besicela idatha singabazali. So le phone ibalekile nasekwenzeni lo msebenzi wesikolo. That is why befuna le datha. So masiyazi ukuthi likhona ixesha le phone, likhona ixesha loba umntana makenze umsebenzi walapha ekhaya, kuphinde kubekho ixesha lolala. Ngoba if abantwana balali, it means bazawuba nengxaki xa bafika esikolweni. Kodwa asikwazi ubanqanda abantwana sithi mabangazisebenzisa ifowuni, ngoba xa umnqanda usithi bangayisebenzisa ifowuni endlini all together, uzawudibana nabanye abantwana abazawuba nale phone uthi wena bakangayisebenzisa endlini, and uza kubona njengomzali ombi. Hlala phansi nomntana wakho nibonisana ukuthi i-social media ngalixesha, ngumsebenzi wesikolo ngalixesha, leli lixesha lolala.
Sibakhulu sendile isikhathi sakho. Ngakho nina bakithi-ke ngisendele esihlangani losati ngetinkundla zokuxhumana luPhindzaba intatheli yethu yokuxhumana khona la SABC. Sikhuluma naye ngendaba-ke dayo-ke i-social media. Sibutele ukuthi ngabe ilanga labobabe libongatwa njengelabo yini bomake. Asive ukuthi uphendula kanjani.
Into nje engayisho mina Msaso ukuthi andenayi ilanga labo alibungazwa njengabomama. Thina ubaba nje siyabungazwa nje ngathi senzelwa ifavor. Ilanga lejathi naye alibaluleka, uyabona likhona sekhalendeni livela nje amaphathiso aye alibungazwa njengabomama.
Happy Father's Day kubo bonke bobabe njengoba itolo bebungatwa ilanga labobabe. Happy Father's Day. Lilanga labobabe alifani nelanga labomake. Alibungatwa kwekufana.
Yabona makuso kulo mama ugcwala ikhangiso komabona kude emaredweni into zomama lapha kuthiwa zehlile lapha ngo50%, 20%. Zigcwale nje yonke indawo, kodwa makuyithina vele kuthule nje kube secwala asifanani.
Wayikhuluma indaba msakazi yelanga lo baba. Hawu into nje engaziwa leyo, nami nje ngizwa ngoba sekusho wena into bengayazi yonke leyo. Ngoba yini into nje enganakwa engafani namanye amalanga, so ayibungazwa.
Lona-ke ngumbono wembukeli SABC ete yathweswa ukuphendulela ngawo. Abadlali bebanyana banyana bathi lesipiliyoni labasitholile iminyaka leminyaka engcile siyoba sida kakhulu kulendebe emhlaba leqala lenyanga letako liyoba se-Australia nase-New Zealand. Leli qembu belisolo lenda kahle kufaka ekhathi nekuthi liphakamise Africa Cup of Nations labasikati kulomnyaka lowengcile. Sitibeka lapho tolamuhla nasibetolo sikhona simo selitulu sale kahle.